Hello Carpers, welcome back to another fishing video. We've got something a little bit different going on this session. We're currently at River Farm Carp fishery. It's over just not too far out of Southampton. It's me and my mate Jack here, and yeah, we're on for a little pairs match there's a bloke out there, Benn O Connor. He does Ben's angle, and yeah, he runs a few matches throughout the year. I was lucky enough to be a part of one. In the summertime this year, we was on Oxley's. We did the summer elite, and that was me and Dan. And yeah, that was a very difficult session that was for us. It was my first time down on the linear complex as well, but yeah, it was quite a difficult session. Didn't really pan out too well for us, but we had a good couple of days down there anyway, all the same. But yeah, so for this one, we're on his winter elite that he's running. So he's got, I think it's 6 matches doing November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, 5, it might be 5. But yeah, I'm booked onto this one and I'm booked onto the March one as well. So yeah, we've arrived here, we've had a good walk around and that, you know, we've got our sheet which shows you the swim map out and everything. So yeah, you can have a little walk around and kind of put the swims in order of where you're going to come out, hopefully in the draw, you know, which one you want to pick. So yeah, we made the travel over obviously from the Isle of Wight this morning. We've got here, met the lads and yeah, picked up the sheet, and then we've gone for a little foot stomp around the lake to see what we could see. Obviously it was frosty when we got here, you know, it's real low temperatures, so we weren't expecting to see too much. And the lake is a very small, intimate lake. It's only 2 acres. I think from what I hear, it's got about 150, 160 fish in it, maybe, something like that. I think there's like 120 pounders, about 30 in the 30 pound bracket, and I think they got up to about 38, 39, so some real good fish to go after. But the problem is with little intimate venues like this, they can be very tricky. The fish are on edge constantly, you know, so with this weather we've got, you know, we are into winter now with these temperatures, so it's not going to be an easy session. But we did come out well in the draw. We got second pick in the draw, and I managed to get my first choice of swim as well. So we've gone into swim 2. There's 8 swims altogether, so there's 8 pairs in this match. Yeah, so you had swim 1, which was more into the shallower end. Swim 2 kind of commanded the middle area of the lake, and you actually get 2 bivvy areas in this swim as well. So we've got plenty of room to bivvy up and things like that. Plus, we're basically looking at 2 swims worth of water. So yeah, you know, it was definitely going to be my first choice. Yeah, so then we've got down to the lake, got all the bivvy set up. You know, obviously we don't need to put in time now looking for fish and things like that. We're in the swim for 48 hours, so that's it. We're going to be set up in here. So yeah, it's time to get the bivvy up and yeah, get everything sorted, ready to go. While setting up, we did actually see 2 fish show in our water as well. Yeah, one nutted out in front of Jack, and then about 20 minutes later, one's nutted out in front of me as well. So they're the only 2 signs of fish we've seen so far. So hopefully we're on a few fish. What he's doing is we've got the all in at 10:30. So, but normally he does it. I think it's normally like all in at 12, and then you can lead up, bait up, and everything from 10 o'clock kind of thing in the swim. But yeah, for this one, it's a little bit more laid back than his usual type of one. So he just kind of says 10:30. You know, everyone's going to be all ready. So then we can, if you want to lead up, you lead up from 10:30, bait up, whatever, and then rods in. But yeah, you can do everything from 10:30. So I've actually got a couple of solid bag rigs knocked up, ready to go. I've got 2 of them, one there and one there. We'll go through the bit of the tactics that I'm using for this session with that, but being how cold it is, I'm literally going to be pretty much fishing for a bite at a time. I have got some boilies prepped up, just soaked them overnight as well, just to make them nice and soft and digestible. Small baits as well. So if I do feel like they want a little bit of bait, I can just trickle a little bit out there. I'm not going to go mental on it at all, but I've got my leading rod ready to go as well. So literally all I'm going to do is just have a quick flick to where that fish showed. Don't want to put too many casts out there. Don't want to put them on edge straight away. Just a cast or 2, just to make sure I'm fishing in a nice area, you know, get a nice drop iron out there. Or even if it's a little bit soft, it's not going to matter too much. I'm fishing a solid bag, but yeah, just so I can get the distance, get it on the wrap sticks, and then yeah, I can fish that same spot every single time and get it back out to the same area. And we're only fishing, you're only allowed 2 rods each for this match as well, so I'm going to be having one fishing out into the lake out into the open water, and then one down on the right hand side, just in the margin. Apparently the margins fish quite well here as well, so you know, I'll never ignore my margins anyway. So yeah, all I'll do is have just a quick lead there, find the drop off at the bottom of the shelf, and yeah, I'll be putting a bait down there as well. Once again as well, just going to start off with a solid bag, and then if I feel I need to, just introduce a couple of baits into it throughout the session, just to maybe add a little bit more attraction there. But yeah, so for now, we'll leave it there. We'll wait for 10:30 to roll around, and then we can get them rods out. Hopefully, we can get this match off to a flyer. Tie lines. Right, and carpers, that's it, the rods are out now, the match has begun. So yeah, we're feeling quite positive, to be fair. We've seen quite a few fish showing all around the lake as well, to be honest, over than the far margin. So basically, we're fishing off 2 banks here, so we've got 4 pairs this side, 4 pairs the opposite side, and we've seen about 4 shows in open water. We've seen 2 fish show over on the far margin on the opposite side, obviously in their margins over there. So yeah, they seem very, very active for this time of year, you know, with the cold weather that we've had recently and that as well. So yeah, hopefully we get the tactics right. Jack's just doing a bit of the same kind of thing, ain't you? You're just
solid bag, and then I'm trying also a different tactic down the margin.
Yeah, so what you've done down there, you've just
down the margin,
used your little mesh bag.
Just a little mesh bag on a Ronnie, and then I've just got a little tight, compact, solid bag further out. Yeah,
that's good. Hopefully it should work. Hopefully, you know what I mean. I think we're sort of, you know, it's better than putting a load of bait out there at the start of the session or anything like that. Feel our way into the session, start with just a solid bag to hopefully get a quicker bite. But yeah, it seems like for this match, there's no tech allowed, so you know you can't use your deepers, your bait boats, anything like that. But he did allow like the baiting poles on here. And I haven't got a baiting pole. I've got a bait boat, but I haven't got a pole. And it seems like we might have made a mistake by probably not getting one or something, but it seems like every other person here is using a baiting spoon as well. These have all fished on here before. It's our first time on the venue, so yeah, maybe they know something we don't, because yeah, I think there's only 2 of the pairs that aren't using them. The rest of them are, kind of thing. So yeah, and they're going up nice and tight to the margins and things like that. So I think starting off with just a solid bag approach, we might get the tactics a bit better right there, rather than trying to fill it in or, you know, create a spot with some bait. So yeah, hopefully we'll land one of these river farm carp. We can show you a couple of these along the way. But yeah, for now, I think we'll leave it there, and hopefully we'll see you soon with the fish. Tight lines. Well, carpers, there's not really been much to report throughout the day today. We're currently on 4:45 now, and yeah, it's pitch black outside already. The door is fully zipped up. I'm in the bivvy, and as you can hear, well, hopefully, you might be able to hear it. Obviously, I've got the mic on, so you don't really pick up the outside noise too much when you're wearing these mics. So they do a really good job, these do, cancelling out the like wind noise and rain and stuff like that. But yeah, it is hammering it down outside at the minute. We've got it due in for pretty much most of the night now, and the wind's blowing straight in our faces over onto this bank as well. So yeah, normally I don't even like having my door on. I normally have it fully zipped off, fully open, but yeah, I've had to put the door on today, and I've got it fully zipped up pretty much. Little air gap at the top, that's about it. But yeah, there's not been a single fish caught around the lake at all today. there's been quite a few shows. They're very active. You know, I've seen quite a lot of shows today we have, and proper coming out, head and shouldering out and that. So plan might be tomorrow, if we still haven't had a bite by then, is I might switch over to zigs. I think we're fishing probably in about 5-6 foot of water, so yeah, I might try maybe even 2 zigs out there, a 2 foot and a 3 foot, and just see something a bit different. You know, this sort of time of the year now, no one really puts a zig out. They don't really associate zig fishing with this time of year, but yeah, I think it might be worth a shout. They're definitely up in the layers, they're definitely about and moving, and you know, we got here this morning, it was minus temperatures, there was a ground frost, and yeah, the fish didn't take long and they were showing out there, so they're clearly active, they're clearly getting about, so it could be a tactic that might save, not just save the blank, might win us the match. So I think it's worth a shout, but like I say, we'll see how the night time goes, we'll see what happens through the night. Hopefully we catch one, or Jack catches one, or we catch a couple. That would be good, but yeah, like I say, we'll have to have a little rethink about things tomorrow if we haven't had anything on the bank. But there hasn't been a great deal to go on, you know, it's not like anyone else is really catching at the minute, so everyone's on the bottom kind of thing, so you know, it's not going to hurt to get a zig bait up in them layers and try something a little bit different. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you through the night with the fish, guys. If not, I'll be seeing you first thing in the morning. Tight lines. Morning, Carpers. Well, it's been a very quiet night last night, nothing to report. By the looks of it, I think there's only been one fish out around the lake last night, which was Ben, the one who's running it, the Coking King, as we call him down here. Yeah, he's had one last night, 25 pound an ounces, not too sure what it was, but yeah, I'm not sure if anyone else has had anything out. Idea now for today. Obviously, yesterday we just put a solid bag out there for just the start session, feel our way into it a bit. You know, I've never fished this lake before, so didn't really want to go in with bait or anything like that. Just thought, get a solid bag out there, and yeah, well, let's just see how that pans out. Obviously, not too well. We had a lot of rain throughout the afternoon and through the night last night, so we were kind of bivvy bound with the wind and that. So the plan is now for this morning, I'm going to chuck this marker lead out in a sec. Just check my depth, what I'm fishing over out there. I think it's about 5 to 6 feet, but yeah, I'm going to have a quick cast out there now, have a little look, and yeah, I'm making a few changes today. So one rod is going on a zig out there, so just want to get my depth just so I know roughly where. I've told it up at 3 foot because I reckon it's 5 to 6 feet. So really, I'm going to be putting out 2 to 3 foot zig out there today. So yeah, the fish have been very active. They've been showing all around the lake, so they're definitely up and about. So yeah, I think a zig might be the way to go. But what I'm also going to do is, once I've got the mark float up there, ping a few boilies over it as well. I've got some 12mm nuts ones and some 15mm wicked whites. So yeah, we're going to ping some of them out there. They've been soaking for 2 nights now, so yeah, they'll be nice and soft and digestible. Easy meal for the carp as well, but yeah, we won't fill it in. But yeah, good few catapults around it. And yeah, we can take it from there. But yeah, I'm just going to have a few casts out there now. We've already got the rod clipped up because I had a couple of casts yesterday to sort of the area where we've seen a fish show, and it was pretty much 10 wraps. So, you know, 10 wraps is a good starting point. Right, so that went down quite soft there. Let's just give it a little pull. She's coming through quite easy there. Yeah, and she's gliding there as well. Yeah, that seems all right there, to be fair. It's a little bit silty, but not too much. The lead didn't plug. It was a little, you didn't really feel a nice drop on it, but yeah, the lead hasn't plugged. So I think we'll stick with that 10 wraps, aiming at the swim opposite us there. Yeah, this went down nice and soft, right, so we'll ping it out of the clip. Make sure we're tightened up to that lead, and now we're just going to pay off a foot at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so there we go. Yeah, so yeah, just over 5 foot. So it's about right. So we're happy with that there. Let's just drop her on here. Right, now we can ping some boilies over that as well. And then yeah, the zig's going to be fishing in that same zone where I'm going to be baiting this area up now. That was a bit short. But yeah, by the looks of it, no one else has really put any bait out. It seems as though everyone's just been fishing like little pockets of bait or little singles, things like that. So I think it's worth trying something a bit different and just putting a bit of a spread of bait out there. Like I say, these fish are very active. They're moving around. And then hopefully with a nice pink pop-up over the top. See it, lovely. That shall do. Right, so we know we are wrapped off and clipped up at 10 wraps there. So we can ping that in now. Yeah, so basically that is the plan. We are going to now get the zig wrapped up at 10 wraps. We'll get that out there. Just literally, I'm going to put that just to the left off of that baited area, and then I'll be getting me rod, which has, might as well give you a quick look at this while I've got it out. So basically all we've got on this is just my normal D-rig liner, D-rig kicker that I normally use, nice little pink pop-up, and this pink pop-up with the weight of the hook and the D-rig kicker on there, it actually still sits just off bottom, like so, popped up slightly. So yeah, just then with some Fox camo soft, so just a soft coated hook link there, just a lead clip. I think that's either a 3.5 ounce lead, and then some Fox copper core, and that's it, simple as that. So that's what's going to get out there over that baited area. Nice little pink pop up, hopefully be standing out enough for them to just single that out and home straight in on it. But we can always change up the colours and things like that throughout the session if I feel it's not working. But like I say, it's not like there's been fish being caught all around the lake. Like, I think there's pretty much one fish being caught for as far as I know. So yeah, that's going to be the tactics for the day. We'll have a catch up with Jack soon, and yeah, we'll see maybe if he's got any thoughts on what to do this session for himself on his side of the swim. This is a pairs match, you know, so yeah, we'll see how he can chip in and maybe try and turn these tables around for us. Right, carpers, wow, not very much going on for us throughout this match so far. Obviously I've made them a couple of changes this morning. I've got one out there over a bit of bait, and yeah, one on the zig. I have changed that zig to and switched it over to a 2-foot zig now, with a yellow zig liner and then a black bit of foam, just to add that little bit of colour in. The water's a little bit murky, so I just wanted to add a fleck of colour to it. So yeah, I thought I'd go with the yellow kicker with a black bit of foam. Jack's pretty much stuck to what he was doing originally. He's got one down the margin still and one out long. Well, to say long, it's only 10 wraps, but you have switched over to a helicopter setup now as well, haven't you? Yeah, on that long one.
Changed it a little bit up, changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit silty out there, you know. Like I say, all I'm doing is I'll use a PVA nugget. If the lead's plugging in a little bit, just tease it out, tease that lead out of the silt a bit, and then yeah, I'm fishing a pop-up, so it's critically balanced, so it still sit down and sit on top of that silt, quite nice. We're not really seeing too much today compared to yesterday. We've seen loads of shows. I think we've only seen 1 or 2 today. There has been a couple of fish caught though now. So we've had Ben, the one who's running it, in peg 4. They've had a 25 something ounces last night. He's also lost one. Then peg 1 this morning, they did a recast, and yeah, literally pretty much straight away they must have dropped it on a carp's head. £30 8 ounce common, so they're currently in the lead now with that fish. It's an accumulative weight for the match. So yeah, for first, second, and third, it's your accumulative weight of fish. And then the peg next to us, peg 3. They've had 2 fish today. Both of them only small though. One was £6.4, the other one was £6.12, I believe it was. So they're on £13 2 ounces. So you know, it only takes one fish and we can get up there on the leaderboard. the whole other side of the lake has been nothing out over there today. So it's pretty much every pair on this side has caught bar us. But yeah, even though there's 8 anglers on this side though, and only 3 have caught, so 5 haven't. But yeah, still, we're hoping. Yeah, the bites that these have had, they've all came from off the far margin, and we've literally only have open water in this swim, and our actual margins kind of things. But yeah, they've been pretty much bushwhackering them out to the far margin and literally touching the bank and dropping it in. So yeah, nice little tight patch of bait, tucked tight into that margin, is doing the trick for them. Jack has moved his margin one in right close to it. From seeing that now, you know, they're only fishing in a couple of feet water, I'd imagine, over there. So yeah, Jack's done the same sort of thing now, brought it in right tight into the margin with just a few boilies over the top. Quite a nice little tight patch of bait as well. And we'll see what that brings. Hopefully we will catch one soon. But like I say, it only takes a minute in this game, doesn't it? You know, a couple of bleeps on that alarm, we can be away, and it could be a £30 common. You know, they go up to 38, 39. So yeah, one fish could win the match for us, kind of thing at this moment of time. But we've got until 12 o'clock tomorrow. We're currently on 3 p.m. now. I have just redone the rods as well for the evening. Just literally cast out again, PVA nugget, let it come up, and I've just flicked another 2 catapults of boilies over the top of it as well. Even though I haven't had a bite, it's just to add a bit more of that sound of the boilies hitting the water. And yeah, a little bit more freshness in the area. And I've rechucked that zig out as well. I've done that 3 times today. Well, I've had the original cast at 10 wraps, then I've done it at 9 wraps, and then now I've brought it back to 8 wraps just to keep it flicked around a little bit, you know, try a few different areas with it and see what happens. But yeah, that's the update for now, guys. Hopefully the next time we see us will be with the fish, fingers crossed, but we can only hope. Tight lines. Carpers, and we've had another very quiet night last night. Not a bleep on the rods. Yeah, I've got a zig fishing out there as well, so it's a bit of a hard one, you know, small little lake like this, and I've got a ping tight line sort of in the zone. But really, for fishing a zig, that's the way you've got to kind of fish it. I wouldn't really want to put it on a back lead, you know, it's just taking away from that bite indication a little bit. So yeah, I've got that one pinged tight out there, but my left-hand rod, which is fishing off the bottom and a little pop-up. Oh, let's get that little bead off of there. There we go. Yeah, the left-hand rod that's fishing on a pop-up out there over a bit of bait. I've got that at 10 wraps. So what I did, because knowing that I'm going to be pinging that zig tight lined, I brought that one back to 8 wraps, just so then I've not got that pinging anywhere near that baited area. So hopefully the fish should be on that, moving around. But that didn't come to fruition anyway. We didn't get a bite. We are coming up to now, coming up to 8:30, so I think it's rods in at 12 o'clock. So we haven't got too long left now. It's still only one fish in it, to be fair as well. One fish could take the match. First place is currently on 31.8 for one fish. Second place is 25.3 or 4, something like that for one fish. And third place is £13.2, I think it is, for 2 fish. So, you know, the fish goes to £38, £39 in here. There's a good few 30s, so it only takes one fish. I haven't touched the rods since redoing them yesterday now. I'm just letting them fish, just kind of doing a bit more of what I do back at home, fishing on like these small intimate lakes I fish there. Normally I'd set a trap, leave it, you know, don't make any commotion. I think this is only my second ever match really that I've fished in, so when you're getting into your head that you're fishing a match, it seems like you've got to be trying to do something, switch to this and switch to that sort of thing. But maybe that's where I've gone a little bit wrong for this match, is maybe changing too many things. But yeah, you live and learn. We're back here for another match in March as well, so I'm booked on for that one with Jack again as well. So hopefully we can do something on that one. But like I say, we've still got some time yet. The rods are still out there. The kettle is on. So hopefully we can get a last minute bite and jump up onto that leaderboard. Let's hope so. Well, Carpers, as you can see, we're back in the car and everything's loaded in. We've already left the lake as well. We're currently at the ferry now, waiting to board. It should be docking in a minute for our journey back to the Isle of Wight. But yeah, there was not much more to film sort of thing towards the end there. You know, we had quite a bit of rain. We had a proper wet pat down. We got absolutely drowned. So yeah, we didn't really film anything towards the end there. But yeah, what we did sort of do towards the end of the match there, we got to 10 o'clock and just not too far out, probably about midway across to where I was fishing to. There was a little bit of fizzing coming up there, and it's the first bit of fizzing I've actually seen. So yeah, wound in a rod, flicked it onto that there, and then just in the margin as well, where the water was clouding up and coming in from the rain running into it, off out in front of that there was a big patch that kept coming up that was like really muddying up there. So yeah, I pulled in the zig, changed that over as well and flicked that onto that spot just to see, you know, give it the last 2 hours of the match just to try something a little bit different and see if we can actually winkle one out. That didn't come through to fruition though, so yeah, it ended up being a blank for us this time around. Again, same as the last match. Yeah, getting quite good at this now. But yeah, we're back there in March. Hopefully we can turn it around. We've learned quite a bit about this venue now as well while we've been there this time. So yeah, we've got a bit more knowledge going into the next round, and hopefully we can do a bit better. But it all comes down to draw dependent as well, sort of. So yeah, even Ben himself, he turned around and said if he would have came out first in the draw, he would have picked peg 2 kind of thing. But as it happens, he ended up in peg 4, probably the last peg I would have chose, to be fair. You know, you were really hemmed it into a little corner there, but they made it work, and yeah, they won the match. They had 2 fish out, I think for like £35 or something like that it was they ended up on. So £34 3, I think it was, the winning weight. There was also a lad that jumped up. He was in peg 5, caught one this morning. He literally, fish rolled out in front of him. I seen him reel his rod in, chucked it out there, put his rod down, and it pretty much went as soon as he put the rod down. And yeah, he had a 28.5 pounder. So yeah, that put them up into 3rd place. And then the other lads that had the 31 and a half, I think it was, on the first morning. Yeah, on these, well, obviously going after the first night into the next morning, they had one then as well. So yeah, they had 2nd place. So well done to everyone who took part. Everyone slugged their guts out and worked hard. But yeah, it was a very, very tricky session. Like you say, small in them, but venue. It was always going to be a little bit tricky with that amount of pressure around there. But yeah, from 16 anglers, I think it was 5 anglers that caught off the top of my head. So yeah, it was quite a tricky one, but we still had a good crack, you know, and yeah, we'll look forward to the next one. We'll leave it there for now, guys. That's enough waffling. Hopefully we will see you on the next one. Tight lines.